Hi everyone, it's Tammy at the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad everyone is joining me today for episode number 3 of Relax, Revisit, and Remake. This little series is kind of me taking a look back at some things I've made in the past and things that I have a tendency to forget that I made, or it could be something that I really love and I, tend to put them in journals that I'm making. It's just kind of, trying to keep myself from forgetting something that I've made that I really like. So, we are going to today do a altered envelope, which is one of my favorite bases to use in every journal. One, I like the versatility of them and the different things that you can do. Two, we all have envelopes, whether we get junk mail that comes in envelopes. You have envelopes that you mail stuff out in. You can come across them very cheaply at thrift stores where people have donated stationery or cards or things like that. Or you can pick them up at the Dollar Tree or wherever, if you see them. So they're readily available, but they're kind of boring. So I like being able to reimagine them and use them in different ways. So today I'm going to be recreating a make that I made for myself. I actually think I did it originally as I saw it on Pinterest make, but I ended up putting it in my personal journal, which is this big bad boy. You can see it's very thick, and it has all kinds of ideas and stuff in it. I did a lot of the color combos in here. And just different makes and things that I've done over time that I wanted to be sure to remember that I did them. And there are a lot of different envelopes in here, but today we're going to focus on this one, and I just have it pinned in because some of these things I don't glue in because I want to be able to take them out so that I can look at them to see how I did them originally. So we're going to do this one, and it's kind of like an over-the-page kind of envelope. And this particular one I did for like the 4th of July. But you could do this any theme, of course. And it just has a little corner tuck pocket, and then it has a journaling card, and then it has another piece of just random paper that you can journal on. And it is cut so that it will fit over the top of the page, if that makes sense. And then for this particular one, I covered the back in just a solid red because I feel like you can write on that, or, when I get to it, I can decorate this back side since I'm not a writer in a journal. This particular theme, I tend to do a lot because I am a military brat and my hubby is retired Army. And so I do a lot of makes, especially for me personally, that are patriotic themed. And The one we're going to make today is not, but let me see if I find one that's not, because I know I have other envelopes in this big bad boy. Right here is one. Didn't have to go far. So this one is also an over the page, and you can see that it comes off as well, and it has the flap on it, and it just wraps around the page. So yeah, I like to do that quite often in different variations. I guess this is a page wrap, not over the page. So let me stick that back in there. And like I said, a lot of these in my personal journal, I just use paper clips so that I can remove them and see how they were done. I'm sure there's others in here as well. At some point I'm going to have to quit working in this bad boy, but I just love this journal. But it's about full. Now I have this one. Again, is a wraparound. Oh, sorry about that. I had to sneeze. Oh my goodness. We're starting to get into, I mean, not that it's going to be warm, but more spring-like temperatures, and I can tell things are starting to come out because I'm sneezing. Here's another one. Airmail envelope. Again, I just wrapped it around the page. Oh no, this one I used the flap and then covered it. So it's a flip out. And that's it in that one. That's surprising that there's not more. But, again, they're very versatile. Let me tie this up and get it out of the way. It does take up quite a bit of room. Okay. So today I'm going to make one for my little teeny journal that I'm making for Sweet Pea Curiosities for my March make. So I'm starting with a much smaller envelope, but the concept is going to be the same as you would use for any kind of envelope or size that you have. Sorry about that. I had to get a sip of my drink. So you can approach this two ways. You can either cut this off and then put a solid piece on here, or you can seal this up, and when you seal it up, you then have the option that you can either cover all of this, or you can leave it and let it be seen as an envelope. So I'm not going to worry about the back right now. We're going to do the front, and I'm going to show you how to put the front together, and then once I decide where it's going to go in the journal, I can decide what I want to do to the back. So for this particular one, I'm going to seal it up, and because we're not going to need the flap for an over the page. Now, if I was doing a wraparound, then I would use the flap. And then I'm going to cut just the tiniest sliver off the bottom, so that, actually I may have to cut, no, I think if I cut just a tiny bit off, you want to make sure that your envelope is going to be no longer than your page, and it can be as short as you want it here. That's totally up to you. So when you cut it at the bottom, you're going to have an opening there, and then you're going to cut a sliver off one side to open up your, actually both sides, so that you can put it over your page. And you can do this with scissors or a knife or whatever. You're just wanting to take the tiniest, see, that was so tiny it disappeared on me. Here we go. Just the tiniest piece off each side. Now, if you don't have an envelope, you can do the same thing with a piece of paper. I mean, you don't have to have an envelope to do this. Envelopes are just an inexpensive alternative for a base. And they're a little bit sturdier than what just a normal piece of copy paper would be. And they come in lots of different colors and patterns. I just didn't have a smaller one in the color. That one I didn't even cut. I must have cut the same side twice. Let's try again. Okay, so there we go. So then you need to determine what your first layer is going to be. Do you want, for example, this envelope is red. So I didn't need a different color, but this envelope is a boring white. So you need to make the decision, do you want to cover it? Do you want to ink it? Do you want to use distress stains on it? That is totally up to you, whatever you want to do. There's not going to be a lot of it showing. It could be that you ink just the edges, and that would be fine. You know, it's up to you. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink it with Vintage Photo. And then I am going to put a digital paper on mine, because these are cheapo envelopes. You can actually still see the security print that's on the inside of the envelope on the outside. And I don't want to see that. I want something a little more exciting than that. So I'm going to take this digital and put on, just glue on here, just to make it look a little better, in my opinion. Let me take this off. And I do not keep my glue pages, if you're wondering. I have so many book blocks from books that I've used covers off of that I, picked up for nothing, that I just refuse to keep every little piece of paper. And I know you're gasping, but the books that I use for glue pages are not books that are worth anything, of course. And I got them just for the covers, and I just refuse to have more than what I need, because I think one of the greatest mistakes in junk journaling is getting to that thing where you think you have to save every little piece of paper, and it's more than you'll ever use in your lifetime. And so I limit myself on what I keep. And if I get more than a couple of book blocks that are pretty big books, or more than a dozen or so magazines that can also be used as glue pages, then I think that's too many. So I don't keep my glue pages. I have plenty. Alright, so I'm going to ink again. I probably didn't need to do that first ink. I am just the type of person which, it's just my preference. I can't work in a cluttered space. I feel like that it just kills my creativity, because it makes me anxious to have just clutter. And so I limit my supplies as far as, how many pieces of scrapbook paper I have, or how many pieces book page I have, or, all that kind of thing. And that's just my work style. Everybody has their own, but whatever that is, make yourself feel comfortable in your space, because if you don't feel comfortable in your space, it's going to stifle your creativity for sure. So the next thing we're going to do is build our pocket, and our pocket actually has a back. So this is the back of my pocket, and then I have my little corner tuck that's going to go here. Now, do you have to do this part? No, but I think the layering looks better, and that's why I do it. So, this piece has no construction basis for it. It doesn't have to be there in order for the piece to work. It just looks better. And I'm not giving measurements on this because everybody's envelope is going to be different. The only advice that I can give you is you want a nice reveal all the way around your piece, so that it looks like it's framed from the back envelope. So we're going to glue that on, and this particular piece is scrapbook paper, and so I'm going to use art glitter glue for that, just because I think it'll hold it better, because it's a thicker scrapbook paper. If it was just a papery kind of scrapbook paper, it'd be fine with a glue stick. You can choose to round corners if you want to. You can nip corners. You can do, whatever you want to this piece. to make it, you know, how you want it to look and to fit in your journal. If your journal has a lot of rounded corners, then you may want to round the corners. You may want to rough it up more than I am. But this journal that I'm working on is not as grungy as my normal journals, so I'm not grunging it up as much as I would maybe, you know, another theme or another journal. And then this is my little, cut out of the same paper, just my little corner tuck, and it's going to go down here in the corner. Let me get this out of the way so you can more focus on the piece. You don't have so much to look at. Alright, so now we have our little corner pocket. So now we have to make what we're going to put in our pocket and decorate our pocket. So this is from the kit, and it is actually one of the full page collage pages, and I have cut it down to make a journaling card. And it's printed, I printed the regular full-size pages as 5x7 because my journal is smaller. And that gave me pages so that I could then use in the journal. Okay, now on this card, I'm going to put this little tab up at the top. So we know it's a journaling card, and it can be pulled out. And I'm going to put it kind of over to the side so it doesn't interfere with the bird. I just love the colors in this kit. And then I have a little flower from the kit and a little Tim Holtz tag that I'm going to put on there. Okay. So there's our journaling card. It's gonna go right down in our pocket. Maybe. I probably should have put some hinges on that pocket. Is that what you call it? You know what I mean. To make the pocket bigger, but what it seems like whenever I do that, they're then too big. And things tend to fall out. So I would rather not do that. Oh, I guess I got a little carried away with my glue. see what we got now. There we go. Alright, and then I also have this little girl that's from the kit, printed on cardstock. I'm going to put her in there for a smaller journaling card. And you can see that you can still, even though we're doing a much smaller scale, you can still get quite a bit of journaling space. And I was going to put this label think about right there. Is that where I was going to put it? Put her in here. Let me loosen that pocket up just a little bit more. Oops, I ended up pulling it loose from the side. Put just a little bit more glue. Okay. There we go, that's better. Where'd that piece go? There it is. I wanted just a little bit of this pink showing through. If I can pick it up. So I think I'm gonna put that I put it right there on that line. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna put it right here on this dividing line. So again, that will go in there, and that will go here after I fix this. My goodness, I didn't think I was putting that much glue on, but apparently I went hog wild with it. Okay, now we're going to decorate our pocket, and for that I have another flower from the kit, and the ephemera. On the ephemera file. And I have a butterfly, which is 49 in market, who has lost one of his long antennae, so we're going to pull it off so they'll be even. And then I have this piece that's from the kit that I'm going to put right across here. Kind of, it looks like some faux washi or something like that. And then I have this little Tim Holtz piece, again, pink. Just pull in another little pink element. And this little round one. I know this would be a lot easier probably if I'd work with the tweezers, but sometimes I fumble more with the tweezers than I do just using my fingers. Butterfly on. Then we'll press the flower down. Then I had this, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to put a little tab on that card. Yeah, I think I will, but I'm going to put it behind. All right. Get my pen back in my glue. There we go. All right, so there we go. We have, I need to glue this little piece down. Not that it's going to matter much if I cover the back, but we'll go ahead and do it for now. I can see it's about time for me to change the foam on my little dauber. Okay, so there's our piece, and I think that turned out real cute. So now, when we pick a place for it in the journal, we have a bird there. And I will be working in this journal this week and give you guys a flip through of what I've done so far. And got a bird there. Maybe here. So this will go over the top of the page like this. And then you could either glue this down at the bottom and down one side and have a space here, or you could glue it down on this side and leave this as a flip up, and you can decorate the front and leave the back as journaling space. Whatever you choose. You could make another pocket here on the side if you wanted to. Whatever. Once you have base made, your options, you have a lot of options for how you want to use it in your journal. So I think it's a really versatile piece. So I hope you guys like that. Let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like to see some other envelope uses that I've done that I have a tendency to fall back on, or that I may have made in the past and you want to see me redo. As far as anything, if you want me to remake something you've seen in a journal or whatever, please let me know. I'll be glad to do that. And like I said, I will be working in this journal for a video later this week. And until then, I'll see you guys back. I think my next video will be out tomorrow, and it will be working on the Junk Journal Madness project from March, which my journal is Scottish. So if you didn't see the first one of those, it's in a playlist on my channel. And until then, everybody have a great evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.